fraud in Cali. So I need to go to two different videos. Damn, did I get? Mm, let's see if we get some people in the room. All right. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button. Hey, what up? Hey, Theo, what's going on with you? All right, let's get into it. So there have been a lot of claims from. Oh, my hair is growing. Oh, it's growing. There have been a lot of claims coming from Trump's DOJ and from Trump himself that the LA election has been rigged. It shouldn't take 30 days to damn count votes. And the Supreme Court just made a ruling, and I think mail-in ballots that come in later cannot be counted. So this is going to be interesting, and we're going to get off into it right now. Trump fuels election fraud claims in California. President Trump and his associates are escalating allegations of election fraud in California, turning to a playbook they used previously to sow doubt about election results. Well, it shouldn't take no damn 30 days to find out who won, and the mail in ballots should be counted as they come in up until election day, point blank, period. Anything that comes in after that should be null and void, and that's a fact. Even before former reality star Spencer Pratt missed the cut for the November runoff against incumbent Mayor Bass, he was losing ground in the post election day vote tallies to Los Angeles. No, he wasn't. He was not. He was number two. That's a damn lie. That's the Wall Street Journal with the bullshit. Many Californians fear federal meddling in elections before Trump's latest baseless attacks. Who is this? This is Los Angeles Times. Even before President Trump's latest baseless fraud claims, 41% of California voters lack confidence that this year's elections will be free of federal meddling. a new poll found. The survey exposed a sharp partisan divide in trust of local vote counting. 79% of Democrats expressed confidence in election officials, while 55% of Republicans say they are not confident. I'm not confident. The shit should be counted before. It shouldn't take no damn 30 days to count some damn votes. Amid years of false fraud narratives and new voting restrictions, 74% of Californians want 2028 presidential contenders to prioritize defending democracy and ballot access. Trump on Monday claimed on his social media site that the race for Los Angeles mayor was a rigged election, an allegation that came after Democrat night Rahman overtook Republican Spencer Pratt. Right, because 440,000 votes just to fucking appear. Yeah, it's rigged. Hey, CarJ, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please hit the like button. Raymond's lead had prompted Representative Abe Hamada, an Arizona Republican, to call for election to be federalized or run by the federal government rather than the state. A message Trump reposted. What is my opinion on Michael Jackson? That he wasn't a PDF file and he was trying to save the children and he was trying to save Justin Bieber. But Justin Bieber didn't listen. I love Michael Jackson. Earlier Sunday, Trump had alleged during an interview with NBC News that California election officials were cheating. That came after a debunked social media conspiracy theory. Yeah, just like y'all didn't think the 2020 election was rigged, and now we know the fuck that it was. So, okay. Claiming that a lag in an update of electronic voting data by the Associate Press shows Pratt was being cheated. On Monday, House Speaker Mike Johnson said the election process in the LA mayoral race stinks to high heaven, and it does. Huh? What you mean, huh? Child or chili? What you mean, huh? The ongoing attacks by Trump and his supporters continue to erode confidence in the nation's elections, especially California. Hell yeah. Threatening a pillar of American democracy. The president wants to use those claims to make changes in the election process that could make it harder for people to vote. No, he don't. He want to get rid of mail-in ballots unless you're disabled, out of the country, on vacation. So that's bullshit. Exactly. Exact. Trump 2028. Bitch, Mark Anthony, don't worry about my goddamn fire alarm. And I am smart, bitch. I'm very intelligent, ho. And what is your opinion on Michael Jackson's death? He was he was unalive. What the doctor he unalived him. Yo, fuck you, bitch. You can leave, ho. Leave. So one thing we learned in recent years is that we just cannot take the voting process for granted. That both sides will accept as legitimate the outcome and can't take for granted the idea that there won't be efforts to essentially manipulate the vote counting process. I don't like sports. I don't give a damn who wins. Trump, Megyn Kelly fueled LA election fraud doubts. Pratt was always doomed. Oh, thank you, Carl. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I try. The race for Los Angeles mayor is headed toward November, with Decision Desk HQ projecting that city councilman Raymond will face incumbent Karen Bass, and they both terrible. They both terrible as far as I'm concerned. They both incompetent. But instead of asking why Spencer Pratt appears to have fallen short in the primary, some conservatives are looking for someone or something to blame. The president is already calling the election crooked, and Megyn Kelly thinks California should get rid of mail-in voting completely. You should. Nobody should mail in a ballot unless you're a senior, you're disabled, you're out of the country. Period. That's the only reason why you should mail in a ballot. Well, this is my second one. Thank you. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you. So that's the only time you should mail in a ballot. Period. Point blank, period. It shouldn't be just because you're too damn lazy to go and vote. I always go the same day. The same day I'm there. So let's get into this videos.
Homes raided, phones seized, allegations of voter suppression.
Okay, well, we're not going to do that. This is Michigan. Let me see.
Yes. Hello, my beautiful friends. What an amazing day. Full accounting of this, including testimony.
Okay, we won't do that.
That's pretty cool. Let me see the name. Oh, it's Vicky Walker. You're Vicky, huh? Oh, cool. You can see that this man has been given a sticky note with someone's name and address, which he is copying onto the ballot petition, committing election fraud, forgery, and a felony. All in exchange for $2. Since we have the addresses of the registered voters, we tracked them down and showed them these videos to see how California citizens feel about having their signatures forged on ballot petitions. We started with the address for Vicky Walker. We're just doing a sort of an identity theft, and I'm looking for a Vicky Walker. Is that the woman here? This house is 5 years ago. Okay, the only reason I know that name is we still get. I assume that's this address. Still get her ballot. You still get her ballot? Yeah. Likely because this address, along with Vicky Walker's name, is being used on ballot petitions to this day. It's going to disenfranchise you. That's why I was so early when we get the money ballot. Obviously, that's a joke. I've named my feral cat Vicky Walker. This is mysterious Vicky Walker. I mean, you're saying it's been 9 years since you lived here. Since you, I have no idea because I'm going to go lived here before us. Unbelievable. Yeah. This is pretty cool. What are we doing? Huh? That's pretty cool.
Paying the homeless $2 to sign petitions. California. Hell yeah, that yes, rigged.
Next to all the workers who handle my luggage and all other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused. Told me that the sound is good now. We got to get into this crazy story of this assassination attempt. Will continue to ensure that only eligible American citizens vote in. All right, we should be good. A transparency statute. And so we've been going all over the country to look at voter rolls to make sure that states are compliant with the Help America Vote Act. And because Wayne County has had these problematic issues and we're within the statute of limitations of 22 months.
Okay, so that's not, we only dealing with California.
So now we're going to talk about what's going to happen with the hand counting rule here in Georgia.
Okay, no.
The Trump administration is losing an initial wave of legal battles over its push to access the private voter data of millions of Americans. as the U.S. midterm elections approach. The Department of Justice has sued 30 states plus the District of Columbia seeking their voter rolls. This includes several states won by President Trump in the 2024 election, even some led by Republicans like hands cash money to the homeless person, not only for signing the California ballot initiative, but also as payment for them to register to vote. Yeah, because you want to register, I need to register you. So I get paid too. That is a federal felony, and it didn't just happen once, it happened over and over and over again. We personally witnessed and covertly filmed this happening at least 28 times over the span of our investigation, and that is just in Los Angeles. Many of the homeless have zero understanding of what it is that they're actually signing. So what is our petition for? The petitioners instruct the homeless to enter made-up addresses like Pinocchio Lane. And all of this occurring just outside the front doors of shelters and NGOs such as Weingart Center, which have received hundreds of millions of dollars in government money. One Weingart employee tells us when and where to find the illegal cash exchanges for signatures outside, and says the cash being given out is coming from a higher source. Do you not think the money that they're giving now? While another Weingart employee advises the homeless on how to practice plausible deniability and ignorance of the law. The petitioners orchestrate an elaborate pyramid scheme of unregistered petition circulators. If I were to hire you, you'd be under me. Yes. With my son, I put the hand to you under me. So it's like a pyramid game. They really, I don't need you, you need me. I don't need you. One of the petitioners threatens to attack one of our journalists. Why are you trying to be like that, bro?
That's in LA. Hell yeah, they rigging the damn election. You can believe that.
Yesterday, April 29th, 2026.
Okay.
The Supreme Court of the United States.
All right, that is not what we want to deal with. Because I didn't put we only dealing with
Folks, welcome back. I have good news, folks. Good news for you. My guest right now is somebody I think.
okay, here go fake ass Newsom. I can't stand him.
Undercover video exposes California elections fraud scheme. O'Keefe Media Group investigation uncovers cash for ballots. Operation targeting homeless on Skid Row. You know you got to be real desperate if you're voting Democrat. The O'Keefe Media Group has released undercover footage showing individuals offering cash cigarettes. It's like prison. And homeless people in exchange for signatures on election petitions and voter registration forms in Los Angeles. The investigation uncovered instances of petitioners instructing people to use fake addresses, with one Weingart Center employee telling an undercover journalist, you can just put Pinocchio Lane as an address. They actually use this as an address. Pinocchio Lane. U.S. Attorney's Office and California officials have responded, stating that such archives are federal and state felonies that will be aggressively investigated and prosecuted. Here's why it matters. This investigation raises serious concerns about potential election fraud and the integrity of the election process in California. Oh, and Texas is just as bad. I'm sure you're seeing what's happening in Texas as well, folks. The alleged capture ballot scheme, if true, would undermine public confidence in the fairness and the legitimacy of elections. It highlights the need for robust safeguards and oversight to protect the democratic process. You'll keep media groups undercover journalists posed as homeless individuals on Skid Row in Los Angeles and documented 28 instances of petitioners offering cash, cigarettes, in exchange for signatures on election petitions and voter registration forms. This is how desperate they are. Undercover video exposes California elections fraud scheme.
They rigged that, took that shit from Spencer Pratt. He should have been number 2.
So we've been covering what's been going on at the full. The Democrats are in full-blown panic mode right now, ladies and gentlemen, and it's easy to see why. Even CNN was forced to report.
Okay, here we go.
In today's video, Los Angeles has done it again. They are now proposing a bill that would grant non-citizens the right to vote in their elections. Also, a Democratic candidate out of Michigan had a disastrous interview, and Senator Warnock out of Georgia is claiming racism based on the latest Supreme Court ruling regarding the Voting Rights Act. Let's first hear what's happening in Los Angeles. Take a listen.
Local leaders pushing a proposal that would allow non-citizens to vote in LA city elections. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Erin
That's just
Rossano.
some bullshit. I'll be right back.
Candidates are now weighing in on that plan. Let's go to NBC4's Carmen Dickerson. She's live in downtown LA outside City Hall with a breakdown of this proposal. Come on. Well, Annabelle, we do want to reiterate the conversation surrounds voting in local elections. This would not apply to federal elections, and it still has a long way to go. And nevertheless, even though it was just introduced yesterday, it is already getting a lot of attention. People have many questions, so here's what you need to know. Currently, the city charter requires people voting in city elections to meet the voter eligibility requirements of the state of California, which is to be a U.S. citizen. However, Councilmember Martinez, whose district includes Stallwood, Silver Lake, and Echo Park, introduced a motion to change the charter. The motion calls for amending the charter to allow the city council to expand voting to non-citizens for local elections like mayor and city council. He said it's too early to know if the proposal would include undocumented people as well as green card holders. He also says this proposal is about representation, but some opponents say voting is a right fundamentally reserved for Americans.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, where do we start? I mean, there's so many things wrong with this proposal, but let's just focus on the main one, which is the whole purpose of citizenship. If we're going to continue to grant rights to people who are non-citizens, and these rights are the same as people who are citizens, then what really is the difference here? What is the purpose of having citizenship of the United States of America? I mean, it's really an interesting question. But why do they move to implement policies this way, right? They do it because they claim they have empathy, that people who've been in the country illegally for quite some time they have been contributing to society. So because they broke the law and they've contributed to society, we should bail them out and allow them to have the same rights as citizens. I mean, you guys let me know right up front, just initially, as you hear this, what do you make of it? All right, let's go to the person who's really behind this proposal.
Bullshit.
I certainly recognize that we have folks living in this country. They've been here 20 years. They've started a family. They pay their taxes. Many of them are homeowners. But they don't have a say over the policies that affect their children and their families on any given day.
And they shouldn't. If you've been in this country 20, 30 years, you mean you could have paid and went through the process to become legal. There's no excuse. Pay the money and become legal. Period.
The motion only asks to seek to explore whether we want to head in that direction. I think the details of who's going to be involved, how we're going to do it, all that needs to get sussed out. So let's just judge this proposal on its merits. The reality of this, it's an absolute fail. Okay, yes, San Francisco program has run for 7+ years with marginal turnout and required years of litigation. New York City tried it, that was struck down. The track record shows minimal real-world benefit and consistent legal political backlash, meaning it's going to cost way more money than whatever positive benefit they're really looking for in the end. Now, politics-wise, This is great, especially if you are a progressive. This is right down your alley. You support this 100%. However, if you're thinking from a populist point of view, this is an absolute F. How does this address the concerns of cost of living, homelessness, crime, housing, etc.? In fact, a lot of those issues have been impacted by illegal immigration. Let's go to the senator of Democrat, Alex Padilla, because I want to show you this is not just the local level. This is the federal level. Here he is being asked about voter ID in California. Take a look. You were the Secretary of State for California. You oversaw California's election to expand it vote by mail in California. What's wrong with the idea of voter ID? That's something that like 80% of Americans support. Well, first of all, let's just be clear when it comes to elections and election integrity. In California, our elections are safe, they are secure, and want to keep them.
Bullshit.
To premise changes to how we administer elections based on the false narrative of massive voter fraud is simply wrong. And so, therefore, the SAVE Act or the voter ID measure that was headed to the November ballot in California are a solution in search of a problem. But the SAVE Act is not a voter ID bill, it is a voter suppression bill. So I want to play that because he claims that.
Who don't have ID? You cannot get a job without an ID. You cannot drive without an ID. The only people that don't have ID are illegal.
The Save America Act is a solution in search of a problem. Well, one could argue this proposal in Los Angeles is a solution to a search of a problem, right? And you guys have heard me probably say this quite a bit over the past few weeks, which is that Democrats have a bad habit of misdiagnosing manufactured problems. So we're seeing it in this particular story. They're manufacturing the problem by saying non-citizens should be able to vote, and because they can't vote, that is wrong because they are contributing to our society. That's the manufactured problem. And the solution that's based on flawed data is, hey, they should be able to vote. Here's how they should be able to do it. And we're implementing the solution because the data says that they're not able to vote. And if they were able to vote, we'd be able to get X, Y, or Z. None of that is proven. It's all just theory. But for Alex Padilla, we know what it's like as it pertains to voter ID. He's scared. And the good news for California, voter ID is on the ballot for that state in November. There is this effort in California that is focused more on voter ID. What is wrong with the concept if I show up to vote at my polling place, that I have to show an ID, but I have to show an ID to buy alcohol, I have to show an ID to get on a plane, I have to show an ID through so many aspects of my life. What's wrong with showing an ID to vote? Yeah, again, I go back to it's a solution in search of a problem. In California, our elections are safe, they are secure, but keep them out. We just make it safer also. Well, but this could also keep eligible people from voting if you forgot your ID. You forgot to read it.
That is such bullshit.
But, the week before, now it's all of a sudden it's expired. And you're not coming up with some votes. It's a solution in search of a problem. Okay, so based on his logic, if my driver's license expired and I forgot to renew it the week before, or I lost it, or whatever the case might have been, but it's not renewed, and I got pulled over 2 weeks later, do I deserve to get a ticket or not? I think I do, right? There's a reason why it's called the rule of law.
That is such bullshit.
They don't believe in the rule of law as pertains to what they want to do for the people that they care about, but as it pertains to people they don't care about, they're all for rule of law. But the CMAC does a lot more than just that. It would hand over to Trump's Department of Homeland Security. Here we go again. The information for every voter in the country, including the private information of every voter in California. Why? These test cases that they've run with states that have cooperated on a pilot basis ends up identifying eligible voters, United States citizens, then getting kicked off the rolls. So the political context for all this is Donald Trump and a Republican Party desperate to hold on to power in November because their record has been so
That is such bullshit.
That's what they're doing. All right, let's go to our next update. This is a disastrous interview for Mick Morrow. She is the Democrat candidate for the Senate out of Michigan. She's running against a radical candidate by Abdul El Sayed.
Okay, let me excuse me. Wait a minute, wait. Hell yeah, they breaking that damn election.
So Karen Bass Yes, the mayor of Los Angeles, affectionately called Karen Basura by Spencer Pratt and many others, which is Spanish for trash. I call her Karen Do Nothing Bass, made some comments just recently, public comments, saying that Spencer Pratt, first of all, saying that she had no idea who he was, which is complete BS. I mean, she is like worse than Obama, the way she lies like it's breathing oxygen. But then she actually has the audacity to say that Spencer Pratt is.
Oh, let me delete that because this is not.
And Joe and Kevin Dahlgren are with us now. Great to have you gentlemen here. Jonathan, I want to play another clip from that video of what happened when one of these workers approached you. Take a look. No, he wanted us to sign these initiatives using other people's names and home addresses. My name's John. Which is identity fraud, another felony. Is this right, brother? When I showed hesitation, listen to what he had to say. Okay, Jonathan, take us through what we're looking at right there and how this scam actually works. You have these guys going around with clipboards working for these ballot signature gathering companies. And what they're doing now is intentionally targeting homeless drug addicts because they know the homeless will pretty much sign anything for a few cigarettes and a few dollars. So they can continue with buying drugs and whatever else they need on the streets. But where are the arrests? Where are the charges? I mean, this is blatant fraud, and we have the evidence on video with people's faces right now. Right, and the White House is aware of your investigation. Kevin, you were bribed to sign one of these things. You didn't sign it. Do we have any idea who's funding this and how big this fraud might be? This is being funded through a nonprofit to get these vulnerable individuals who are knee deep into their addiction and mental health to sign these ballots for money, which is just completely, I don't even irresponsible, exploitative, illegal. Yeah, illegal. This is one of the $2 bills I received. Right? Is that real? I saw that. My producer said it was. This is what they were handing out: brand new crisp $2 bills or a whole bunch of cigarettes. So this is real, and I was really kind of like both shocked and not surprised because Skid Row is like ground zero, the epicenter of radicalized policies run amok, right? And of course, they chose the most centralized, chaotic neighborhood, probably in America, to do this, which just says a lot about the mindset of these individuals that are exploiting the homeless. Yeah, that's a great point. And I think that's the question now, right? How do these petition gathering companies get the information and how do they end up on Skid Row? That's what we have to find out. In your earlier segment, you were talking about third world. This is literally third world. Yeah. It's so shocking. And I want to say something about this. It's time to restore order and clean up Skid Row. It's time to wipe out Skid Row. It's time, once and for all, just to fix this. Because the fact is, we have the money to do it. The budgets are there. But the fact is that the government, the local government, that is, it's not doing enough to fix this, right? Yeah, we can clean this up, and it's just time. It's so sad. That's such a good point, Jonathan Cho, Kevin Dahlgren. Appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you. Thanks, Skid Row. Thank you. All right, independent journalist Jonathan Cho and Kevin.
Yeah, they rigging the damn election in LA.
So why was the good here, bro? What county is this? San Bernardino. Gosh. And I was in LA. And you've never lived on Skid Row? Angela Nietzsche. I'm Angela. They had me sign your name. I'm obviously not an Angela, but you heard them ask me not to sign John, right? But to sign Angela Nietzsche. Right. Is that how you pronounce your last name? Nietzsche. Yeah. What else are they doing with my name? I offered to sign.
Like, share, subscribe.
They didn't want it. Right. They wanted me to sign your name. Right. So they had my name and my address. That's why we're here to verify and let you know your name, address, information is floating all around Skid Row right now, and who knows where else. Yeah, well, that's your name, right? Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. It says initiative measure to be submitted directly to the voters. Yeah, that's crazy. It is crazy. So you didn't give anyone permission? No, not at all. So what do you do now, sir, knowing that your name, I mean, that's definitely your name, it's definitely your address. What do you want to say to Governor Gavin Newsom? Honestly, I don't really trust anybody. Realistically, if I was in that position, I'm not to say I'd be doing the same thing, but of course, you're gonna look out for yourself first. But you don't think the governor could clean this up or get to the bottom of this? No, because I'm sure it's intertwined with people below him or with him. All we can do is just rely on media to get, an outrage or people to be like, oh, we should do something about this. But well, I'm sorry your info's out there. I just want to let you guys know we're letting all the other victims of this identity fraud know what's going on. But there are people out here using your name, signing on your behalf for these ballot initiatives. This is on a clipboard that was found on Skid Row in Los Angeles. Really? This is full-blown identity fraud. Your reaction to having who is this, your brother? He's my cousin. Your cousin. I mean, I got to give him a call and let him know immediately. That's crazy. Yeah. And they try to have me fraudulently sign on your cousin's behalf. I don't know why that document with his name, with his date of birth and the address would be somewhere in Skid Row on a clipboard like that. Yeah, that's 100% fraud. I mean, that's crazy. Who do you go to after this? I mean, do you contact the governor's office? I reach out to all of those guys. I mean, will they do anything? Probably not. No. I don't have any faith in the state of California. So, to end this crisis. Definitely not Newsom. Kevin Newsom, okay. Definitely not. So why do you say that? That guy's a terrible governor.
Sure is.
He's really, between
He has destroyed California.
Tax and the homelessness, not any good policies at all, which is a shame because this is a beautiful state. So those are all the other names. That's why, and I just. Yeah, and this is only one sheet. There were dozens of sheets, hundreds of names.
And you think, yeah, they rigging that damn election. They damn sure are in California. Here's another victim.
Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles is one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. This is hell on earth. A human dumping ground infested with crime, open-air drug use, and unimaginable suffering on virtually every block. This chaos is also what allows alleged fraudsters to blend in and prey on the most vulnerable. In this Frontline's Turning Point USA multi-part investigation with O'Keefe Media Group, Discovery Institute, and other independent journalists, registering people to vote in exchange for money. Cam Higby and I went undercover and witnessed multiple instances of ballot initiative workers. I want to get $5. I heard I can get $5 for paying cash to homeless drug addicts for their signatures. A felony level crime according to California law. Every single homeless person on Skid Row that we asked is aware this is happening. But this guy took it to another level. He wanted us to sign these initiatives using other people's names and home addresses. My name's John. Which is identity fraud, another felony. Is this right, brother? When I showed hesitation, listen to what he had to say. Did you hear that? Since we do have morals, instead of signing, our team immediately notified authorities, including Governor Gavin Newsom and Attorney General Rob Bonta. They do not have that authority. They responded by saying this would be investigated. These people are just continuing the cycle of harm and suffering on these people.
Facts.
They can manipulate them for political gain.
Facts.
As for some of these victims of identity fraud, your name, address information is floating all around Skid Row right now. We've learned some of the names and addresses belong to real people in San Bernardino County, a 2-hour drive from Skid Row. They're targeting vulnerable homeless people. Angela Nitchie lives in a picturesque farming community surrounded by horses and lush fruit orchards.
What else are they doing with my name?
A far cry from the urban decay and street hustlers operating without conscience. Mitchie says she did not give anyone permission to use her information.
It's totally a Danny thing. This is my livelihood.
How do you think they got your name and your address and all your info out there?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm sorry your info's out there. I just wanted to let you guys know. Several miles away, Sean Chira's Cabral is in total disbelief. You didn't give anyone permission? No, not at all. And wants to know how his information ended up.
Damn shame. Damn shame. Because I told my son I'll never go back to California. It's just awful. Mm-mm. Let me see if this.
Black people are supposed to believe that requiring a voter ID.
Okay, no, we're dealing with California. Okay, that's Atlanta. Oh shit. Damn. I hit the wrong button, y'all. Oh, it's raining. Hold on. I got about 20 more minutes left. Paying people to sign petitions. You're have committing fraud. That's what you're doing. Voter fraud. You're committing voter fraud. You're committing voter fraud. That's what you're doing.
Reporting in Los Angeles is showing that there's cash for ballot deals being made. I'm with the press. I'm with the press. Well, where it's right here, and I'm right here. Cash for ballot measures. Cash for ballot deals. No, Gavin Newsom is now demanding prosecutions for these cash for ballot deals being made in Los Angeles. This is your. Recent undercover reporting in Los Angeles is showing that there's cash for ballot deals being made. I'm with the press. I'm with the press. Well, where it's right here, and I'm right here. Cash for ballot measures. Cash for ballot deals. No, Gavin Newsom is now demanding prosecutions for these cash for ballot deals being made in Los Angeles. This is your. Recent under.
Nothing to say, huh?
Black woman won over one of the most successful people in Los Angeles who built every shopping center that every single person goes to on a daily basis. It's not even possible. This is the funny thing about California and how up it is. So I voted 3 times in my life. Every time was for Trump. After I changed my registration to Republican, I've never once got a ballot. They've all gone missing in the mail. And I go to vote in person. I go to show her my ID. She acts like I took like a heck out. She's like, no. She's like, oh my God. And I was like, it's ID. Okay, so if you don't need my ID, who am I? Am I alive? Am I dead? Am I Democrat? I mean, the mail-in ballots, all that. And then I was the only ballot that day that was rejected 3 times. They're like, well, we just don't know what's happening. You think a lesbian, retarded black woman won over one of the most successful people
Come
in Los
on.
Angeles who built every shopping center that every single person goes to on a daily basis? It's not even possible. This is the funny thing about California and how up it is. So I voted 3 times in my life. Every time was for Trump. After I changed my registration to Republican, I've never once got a ballot. They've all gone missing in the mail. Then I go to vote in person. I go to show her my ID. She acts like I took like a heck out. She's like, no. She's like, oh my God. And I was like, it's ID. Okay, so if you don't need my ID, who am I? Am I alive? Am I dead? Am I Democrat? I mean, the mail-in ballots, all that. And then I was the only ballot that day that was rejected 3 times. They're like, well, we just don't know what's happening. You think a lesbian, retarded black.
Mm. Oh, that's a good one, but it ain't for this video.
How is this even legal? You guys should be calling for voter fraud. And honestly, it kind of seems like voter fraud now when you guys are leading a bunch of non-English speakers. I mean, I think the fact that I have footage of you guys leading a bunch of Asian Americans to the voting polls. I speak Chinese. None of them know what they're voting for. You don't think that's weird? Is that even legal? We're fighting back.
Tell me that didn't look weird. Tell me that didn't look weird. And you know what else is extremely weird and crazy about all of that? Watch this.
So I have a crazy story about voting in California. I voted by mail, so no biggie, but my mom went and voted in person. And the guy pulls up the screen for her or whatever of what you're supposed to vote, and it's only coming up yes. And then I was like, this is not giving me a voting option. And he's like, yeah, you just press that button. And she's like, no, that's not what I want to vote. Like it's not giving me another option. It's only saying yes. And he was like, well, that's just hit that button and that's your vote. She's like, no. They had to call somebody else over, and she was like, excuse me, I'm not getting an option on what to vote for. So the lady had to back out and like re-go in and set her up where it'll say yes or no. But the guy was only setting her up for yes. Tell me how that's not fully rigged.
Facts.
Unbelievable, right? The folks in there, this is what she said, right? Hey, elderly mom.
Only in California.
And she went to go vote, and it had no other option but yes. No other option, period. Okay? That's what she said. I'm not saying that's what it is. That's what she said. Okay? That's what she said what happened. And then you see them pulling up a busload of Asian and Chinese folk that don't understand English, don't understand the language, and then they line them up to vote. And then you hear about them setting it up to where there's no other option but yes or whatever to vote.
Wow.
Tell me that ain't some bullshit. Because if those Asian folks can't read or understand English entirely, when they put them in front of their computer screen and it shit says yes, and that's the only option, they gonna click it and then that's it. They don't even know what they click, bro. The Democrats are some slakes, shiesty. Wow, bro. I cannot believe this is a possibility. I'm not even saying that this is what's going on. Okay? All of this right now is alleged and speculation. But this is crazy, bro. Just to even be speculating along these lines, to even, you feel me? To even see this type of shit connecting all of that, tell me this ain't crazy. Or tell me I'm tripping, bro. Tell me, oh my goodness, I want to hear from y'all. What are y'all thoughts on this? Now, remember, I didn't make these people say this. I didn't do that. You feel me? These people don't know each other. These is clips and stuff that people sent me that don't know each other, and I put them together. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I want to hear from y'all. Let me know if I'm tripping on what I'm seeing and hearing and what I put together.
You can't make this shit up. Yeah, they rigging that damn election in California. You can't make this shit up. That's Michigan, where I live.
Carl, you absolute madman. Got it. 1,368,000 signatures. The credit goes to all of the grassroots volunteers. When everything is stacked against us, all the money, all the media, all the infrastructure, that the conservatives can actually work together, rise up, and do something to move the needle. And so if we can do this in California, then what the hell are you waiting for? Enact your own voter ID initiative at the state level. Don't wait for those sellouts in the Senate to do their damn job. They never will. Let's rise up and make this a grassroots rebellion, state by state by state. We still have to pass it in November. Polling shows 70% of Californians are in favor of voter ID, but there's a lot of dirty tricks that the Democrats and their friends in the liberal media will pull, so we've got to work hard between now and November to actually win the vote. Carl, you absolute madman. Got it.
So voter ID required. That's coming to Cal. And you should have a damn ID. Damn it, you should be able to speak English and read the fucking ballot. You can't make this shit up.
The justices are wrestling with a question about whether states can count ballots received after Election Day, in a case that could have an impact in nearly 30 states that allows some kind of grace period. The RNC is challenging a Mississippi law that allows ballots to be counted up to 5 business days after Election Day if they're postmarked by Election Day. Justice Alito was among the biggest skeptics during. I'm just looking at the top comments already here, and we've got Galen saying, here we go again, the conspiracy theories, a Republican lost in a deep blue area, shocking, and then, no, it was not stolen, MAGA crowns, and then most likely, because Americans are going to be very divided on this question we're talking about today, which is, was the California election stolen. All right, so check out this graph. You can see here. So election night, you got the three top candidates who were Mayor Bass in blue, Spencer Pratt, the Republican, and then Nydia Rahman, who was the progressive. So if you look here at the beginning here, you can see on election night, it was obvious that Karen Bass had come in at the top. Spencer Pratt came in second, and Nydia Rahman came in third. What happened next was you had the mail-in ballots start coming in. And what a lot of people are pointing to is this big jump, which you can see here, to where basically Nydia Rahman got almost all of the mail-in ballots. She got...
And you can't tell me that ain't fraud. They said people don't even like her in her damn district.
More mail-in ballots than Karen Bass did, who was at the top, so that the incumbent mayor. So Nydia Rahman, who came in third place on election night, got 177,000 total votes, which doubled through the mail-in ballots.
Which is bullshit.
More mail-in ballots than Karen Bass did, who came in at first place. As a result of this, a lot of conservatives are saying this could not have happened except through monkey business. The election was stolen from Spencer Pratt. He should have come in at second place because, of course, the top two are now advancing to this was the primary. The top two are now advancing to the general election. That is how people on the right are seeing this. Now, all right, Larry, let's hear from you. And then I'm going to say kind of what I think they get right on the right and what they're getting wrong. Go ahead.
There is absolutely zero chance this was stolen. Zero. None whatsoever. The reality of it is, why did all the mail-in ballots come in late? Because most of those are younger people, number one, who like doing it that way. They do it, and the younger people voted for the progressive. That's how it is across the entire country. If LA is anything like New York City is like 7-1 Democrat to Republican. California is like 2-1 Democrat to Republican, plus a big chunk of people who are independent. There's more independents in California than are Republicans. The reality of it is, people in New York City, people in Los Angeles, people in Chi-Town, Chicago, they don't want Republicans. They don't want Trump. They can't stand Trump. They don't care. They will cut their own arm off to make sure that they don't get a Trump Republican in. And he was indeed endorsed by Trump. That was the death knell. I see it in my state in New York. I see it in California. That's the reality. They don't even bother trying. Why would they try to? There's no need to. And I'll give you the best example. In New York City, my city was a broken city, and they still voted for Mamdani. When they were mad at Democrats, they didn't go to Republicans. They went further left. What city people do in California? Karen Bass is obviously, clearly a bad mayor, demonstrably a terrible mayor, and she came in first.
Right.
So still, even if Pratt comes in second, doesn't matter. She came in first. Why would a Republican even waste their time trying to fix it? Why would Democrats even try to fix it? It is so obviously going to go to a Democrat. There's no doubt that is going to happen. That's what the people keep voting for. It's what they want.
Why didn't, in your view, how did Nydia Rahman manage to get almost all of the mail-in ballots? How did she outperform Karen Bass by 7,000 mail-in ballots? How did she double her? Why did they always her, in your view?
Yeah, she probably had her team go out there and make sure they did good ballot harvesting. They probably did that. That's a common tactic. Yeah. Democrats ballot harvest more than Republicans. Republicans do it too. But she probably ballot harvested. They went to places where they went to big buildings, project buildings. They went through, got a bunch of people who were Democrats, and hey, Democrats, why don't you all vote? We'll grab your votes, and we mailed them all in. They did ballot harvesting at the last minute. They went as long as they could to do ballot harvesting. That's probably what Rahman's team did. They do it here in New York City too. They'll go out, go to buildings, gather everyone's, and then mail it all in. So they probably ballot harvested and mailed them all in.
Should I pull that one back up that you just had? All right, this is why I think Republicans and people on the right feel like the word rigged or stolen is appropriate. I think you just nailed it, by the way. I don't think anyone disagrees about what happened, about how Nydia Rahman got there. She ballot harvested, right?
Yeah.
So I think the question then becomes, so look at this, she beat him by less than 1% here through ballot harvesting. To a lot of people, the idea that, so what does ballot harvesting mean? So it means that.
And you mean Spencer Pratt didn't get any mail-in ballots? None? How likely is that, Bush? How likely is that?
Well, California law mandates that every voter get mailed a ballot. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you intend to vote or ask for that, you get that ballot mailed to your home. Also, you can use any form of ID. You can use a gym membership to register to vote in California. The ballot harvesting.
That is crazy. That's insane.
Show up to a nursing home, a homeless encampment, a homeless shelter, and go door to door and say, "Hi, did you vote? Oh, you didn't vote? Oh, do you have your ballot? Oh, who would you like to vote for? Allow me to help you fill this out." And they can walk away from there with thousands and thousands of votes. Now, I think that to a lot of Republicans, when they say this was rigged, they cheated, that's what they mean. They mean there's something about that can allow the progressive who was in third place to overtake the Republican by less than a point and still win by doing all this kind of thing, that the word rigged applies to the situation.
How can it apply when the Republicans can do it too? Right? How can it be rigged or stolen? There was nothing stopping Pratt from his team do exactly the same thing. Now, I'm not saying I like it. I think it's completely bogus. I agree with you, it's wrong. But they've been ballot harvesting for years. Mm-hmm. So why isn't Pratt then getting his team out, Republicans out there, ballot harvesting too? You can't call it rigged when, one, it's been legal for years, and two, your team can do it too, and you know the other guys are doing it. Okay. So if everybody's doing it, why aren't you just doing it versus complaining about it?
So Rank says rigged 100% days, weeks to count, and the end Dems always win. Mim Leon 8579 says, "Damn right, it was stolen." I want the two of you, Ranko and Mim Leon, to respond in the chat to the point that Larry just made, which is, why are you calling this rigged if the Republicans could do it too? I think what they might say, well,
it's still wrong. It's still wrong.
What I would say to that is, Republicans don't do it because they think it's wrong, but they think it is wrong to be able to vote by using
No. Okay, hold on. Yes, they think it's wrong. I agree. Yes. I'm sorry.
They think this is cheating, and they don't want to cheat on an election, is A. And B, of course, they don't have the same machinery in place as the Democrats do in California. But if they think it's wrong, like, they're not going to go there and try to cheat in order. Like, that's what I think they would say. And so it is cheating because one side is taking advantage, an unfair advantage.
Okay. I'm sure they would say that. They would be lying. If they could actually do it, they would absolutely do it. Your point's valid. They may not have the machine to do it. I think that's probably true. But that's my entire point. The city is a democratic machine, just like Chicago is, just like New York City is. Remember, in my city, New York, Curtis Lee was a Republican for mayor. The Republican got 7% of the vote. Not 17, not 70, 7. It is a machine. So I would agree with you in that it's a machine, yes. But if the Republicans thought they could win it, they know they can't, they gave up. They would have sent their machine from some other state. They would have put their team together. They do it all the time. When they think they can win in Pennsylvania, Republicans throw their team in Pennsylvania. Democrats do it too. They put their teams in those states to do the things required. Knock on doors, do ballot harvesting, whatever the case may be. They didn't do it in LA. Why? Why bother? Now, if you're going to tell me that it's unfair that Democrats have a machine, Republicans don't, agreed. That's true. But to think that it's rigged, it's the same system. I'm sure Republicans do it in their own areas where they can, where they have a machine, all those things. So LJ says, we cheated fair and square. I wish you were wrong. LJ, I wish you were wrong. I'm serious.
That is such a good line. Wait, last night on News Nation, Leland Bitter made the same point. He said they didn't cheat because they didn't have to. Like, they set up the system to where they don't have to. Okay, I want to read this. So Corey J. 1984 says, Feds ought to swoop in and validate every vote with a signature that can't be verified and any ballot that lists the place of residence as a business or an empty lot. I I do think that the Trump administration, I think we both agree with that. I do think the Trump administration is going to launch an investigation into this. But honestly, what they're going to find, I think, is much less clear-cut fraud and much more of this, rigging the system. Can we agree on that? Can we agree?
Yes.
On rigging the system? Okay. So
the system is absolutely rigged, whatever side has the machine. In the case of cities like Los Angeles, even states like California, states like New York, cities like New York, it is absolutely rigged for them to win every single time.
Doesn't that mean that Spencer Pratt's near victory is that much more it's insane that he came within a point of winning despite this legal rigging, right? That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I guess so, but this is the reason why they went to this jungle primary thing.
This is insane. This is insane. Yeah, they rigged that election against Spencer. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button. This is some bullshit. The whole system need to be overhauled.